My parents didn't approve when I dropped out of high school. They thought I was throwing my future away. But that decision became the first step toward building my own company in China. I grew up in Shanghai, the city that never really stops moving. 2 months into my senior year, I dropped out of high school. Everyone around me was following the same pattern: school, college, job, rat race. But deep down, I knew I wanted something different. My parents were both high-performing executives, graduates of top universities. When their only son decided to quit school, they were devastated. They called it a gap year. I called it the beginning of my real education. Before dropping out in 2016, I was already hustling, working part-time as an English Mandarin translator, an assistant to a nightclub owner, a personal assistant for celebrities, and even an intern at a venture capital firm. I learned more from those jobs than I ever did in a classroom, and within a week of leaving school, I landed an interview at a SaaS company called Top List China. That interview turned into my first real job. By 19, I was promoted to business development manager. I was managing clients, budgets, and learning the ins and outs of business, all before I even had a diploma. Then COVID hit. Work slowed down, and for the first time, I had space to think. I've always been into sports. I'd played rugby since I was 10, and I started diving into fitness, injury recovery, and cryotherapy. One night in November 2020, I was reading about cryotherapy when a friend texted me asking if there were any cryotherapy options in Shanghai. That's when it hit me. If we were looking for it, others probably were too. That was my light bulb moment. In April 2021, I founded Cryozone Recovery Hub, a cryotherapy center in Shanghai. At first, I worked 2 jobs, managing my corporate role by day and running my new business at night. For 8 months, I barely slept. But when things started taking off, I left my job and went all in. By 2022, I'd opened a second location in Shenzhen and even partnered with manufacturers to create affordable cryotherapy chambers. Of course, it wasn't smooth sailing. A bad supplier almost sank us. We lost money, time, and trust. But then, an investor I met at a luxury watch convention stepped in. We reinvested another $100,000 to rebuild, and it saved the business. Today, Cryozone helps people recover faster and live healthier, and every decision I make directly shapes its future. That responsibility is scary, but also the most fulfilling thing I've ever done. I've learned that success isn't about following a path. It's about creating your own, and as Elon Musk once said, if you need encouragement to start a company, don't do it. I didn't need encouragement. I just needed belief. And I'm living proof that the path to fulfillment doesn't have to look like everyone else's. If you believe success has no single path, hit subscribe. I share stories like this every week.